Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope that you're all doing well and that you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Italian luxury car manufacturer Ferrari has started accepting payments with cryptocurrencies in the United States of America. This was such popular news, I thought it was fake for a while because it popped up immediately all over the place and everyone was talking about how amazing it was that another company has decided to accept cryptocurrencies. It was Ferrari. I looked for a half brief second and wouldn't you know it, about 9,000 different websites were talking about it at the exact same time. The luxury car manufacturer will soon expand its program to Europe in response to the demand of what they call young clients and investors who have accumulated wealth through cryptocurrencies and continue to hold their wealth in cryptocurrencies. It's a bit, the word's not cringy, it's definitely a market move. They're doing so because they believe that young people, similar to, remember years ago, like when Lambo, I'm gonna buy a Lambo, blah, 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 blah. Ferrari is trying to capitalize on that and say, well, you can now buy a Ferrari instead of a Lamborghini because they are trying to target what they claim to be younger people who are the heaviest investors in cryptocurrencies in response to what I can only assume is the timeline of the Bitcoin halving and prices rising dramatically once again. And therefore, they're assuming that people who have made large amounts of gains will want to buy a fancy car. And therefore, Ferrari saying, hey, do it over here. According to Reuters, Italian luxury car manufacturer Ferrari has started accepting payments with cryptocurrencies within the United States. The luxury car manufacturer will initially manage cryptocurrency payments through BitPay. Ferrari has chosen Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC coin, I believe that's Circle, as the cryptocurrencies it will accept for payment. I saw conflicting news on this. I saw a few websites that said it was going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I saw one that said Dogecoin. What I think that it is, I believe that BitPay has many different options for different coins and not just Bitcoin, despite it being called BitPay. So I assume there are many other coins that can be facilitated through there. However, the one thing that kind of stuck over and over was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC, regardless of the other coins that might have continuously been popping up over and over that I kept on seeing. BitPay will assist Ferrari by verifying that the source of the cryptocurrencies used in the transactions is legal, and that they are not obtained through illegal activities or being used for money laundering or tax evasion purposes. This goes back to the dirty coin thing that we were talking about. We talked about it more years ago, but now it's popping up again in the news. This is why you see so much talk about cryptocurrency regulation. The idea is that if your coins at any point were on a website, were involved in a transaction for something that a government might deem to be illegal and or not allowed within their borders, those coins basically have like a dirty tag on them. That governments and Sentiment and Glassnode and these other companies end up tracing around. So one of the main ideas is that, according to governments, cryptocurrencies are only used for bad, illegal, terrible, horrifying things. So therefore, the idea that you would want to buy a car with your cryptocurrencies must mean that you're trying to get rid of it because it has something to do with some sort of illegal transaction, and therefore BitPay will make sure and probably trace through the chain to see that those coins that Ferrari is going to receive are not bad. That's basically the long and short of it. Accepting cryptocurrencies as a payment method offers many advantages for businesses and yada, yada, yada. Cryptocurrency transactions, cryptocurrencies. Yeah, okay, cool. They're talking about the benefits of a company accepting them. One, cool, fantastic. It's nice to see that another company has, jumped into the pool. This was something normal a couple of years ago because a lot of other companies swiftly realized that they should have been buying Bitcoin when it was around $1, $10, $100. Let's be honest, even $1,000. So a number of years ago, we started seeing companies popping up left and right, announcing that the lucky you can also spend your cryptocurrencies here. We're slowly seeing it again. I assume we'll see another burst of these energetic companies if we continue to rise in price during a bull run, blah, 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 all that other stuff. I will say this, though, and I mean this as a friend. When this is my opinion, when prices do begin to rise once again, and a lot of you find yourself in a position of newfound wealth, newfound opportunities as to what you can do in life, I would implore you. Now, this is this is financial advice. Before you buy a Lamborghini, before you buy a Ferrari, 1, pay your bills. 2, pay off your debt. 3, buy a home, buy a property, buy an investment property. I don't care if it's a studio, a 1-bedroom. I don't care if it's a little bungalow with a little pool in the back. Before you buy a car to look cool driving down the street in, so you can try and say hello to some people as you drive down the street, make sure that you are securing yourself financially for the future. Because I can almost assure you, in 20 years, you'll be looking at that Ferrari and being like, so this is where I have to sleep. You don't want that. Make sure that you set yourself up financially really, really well. And then with any extra, newfound wealth that you have after you have some passive income coming in for the rest of your life, then you can go to Ferrari. I say that in a very nice way because I knew people before who I no longer talk to who were adamant that they were only in the cryptocurrency space just to buy a fancy, nice, cool car, go on vacations, and trying to live their best life. And I'm like, you plan on buying property as well. You plan on investing in dividend stocks, having some type of passive income. They looked at me like I was asking them to grow wings and to, fly into the sun. So always make sure and remember that you are in this space because you are trying to make money, but also secure yourself for the future, because I'm pretty sure you can all see that financially the world is in a bit of a tailspin, whirlwind. Something bad is happening. So yes, very popular news. This was absolutely everywhere. Every website was talking about it. It seems to be major, amazing, wonderful, fantastic news. When prices do go crazy, the first thing you should do is pay off your debt, pay your bills. Even if you can, some people don't know this, you can pay your bills months in advance as well, giving you a lot more breathing room. Just contact, the bill person, and also, get some investments that will pay you for the rest of your life before you buy a fancy red luxury car that literally costs the price of a house. This is one of the websites that said XRP on it. That's the Ferrari is apparently now accepting cryptocurrency for their luxury cars. And yeah, let's move on. Also in popular news, and I'll tell you what I think is going on. According to a Yahoo Finance report, the Open Network, TON, and I had to Google it because I'm pretty sure they changed the name, and I don't remember them changing the name. This used to be called the Telegram Open Network, as in the Telegram texting app. Years ago, they tried to create their own blockchain and coin. Regulators were not having it. I think they passed on the project to another group of individuals. They revived it earlier this year. It's been making, the rounds in the news every now and again. But they switched it from Telegram Open Network to the Open Network. Still, it's called TON. Foundation has announced plans to set up 256 servers for a performance testing event scheduled for Halloween of this year. Per the announcement, the objective of this event is to officially establish the TON protocol as one of the world's fastest blockchains. This was a thing that was very popular years ago. As far as Bitcoin does 3 transactions per second, Ethereum does 15 transactions per second, XRP does, I think it's 3,500 or something like that. The idea was long ago was the first blockchain to be able to do 60,000 transactions per second would be crowned the winner. This was very, 6-7 years old kind of news. However, that metric has lightly fallen out of favor as we now have batched transactions. So within one transaction, you may, like imagine a box. You can throw in like 300 other transactions. So while Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano may only show one transaction that happened on the chain, it is bundled up, and therefore the transaction per second model isn't as popular as it used to be before. One of the other things that people also don't talk about anymore, because I think people don't care about decentralization as much as they actually should, is that there are, what's the word for it? You have to sacrifice decentralization for higher speed. So having a network that has a higher amount of speed doesn't mean that your protocol is safer or stronger or whatever, because you could, in theory, at Telegram's office, in theory, simply set up the blockchain that is hyper-centralized, or you only have 3 nodes. So there might be one at the Open Network, there might be one at the Telegram store, building, and you might have one somewhere in Japan. And because you only have 3 nodes, you are then able to do 50,000 transactions per second. It's not hyper decentralized, and this is so kind of this sort of thing. But they're now in the news because they're trying to prove how fast and cool and strong that they actually are, which I don't think they need to do. There's probably I don't assume there was even one person on Telegram who was like, hey, you guys should do this to show the world how fast you are. I think people don't really care about speed anymore, especially if you have other chains, Anyway, per the report, the TON blockchain has experienced significant growth since 2022, witnessing a 20-fold increase in addresses from 170,000 to 3.5 million. I think a lot of this came from this summer when they announced that they were kind of rolling it back on out. And you'd be able to, I assume, use the coin on the texting app. So it kind of makes a lot of sense that the TON coin has also been rising in price based off of speculation of where this is going to go, what partners they might have, what the coin might eventually do, how high the coin could eventually be in price, and all that other stuff. The network has also expanded its validator nodes to 350, fostering a more decentralized network across 25 nations. The blockchain has maintained a track record throughout this expansion, with no major network disruptions being reported. Anatoly Makasov, the core development lead at the TON Foundation, expressed anticipation for the performance testing event, highlighting the TON's blockchain technical superiority, particularly regarding scalability. Sure, why not? So on Halloween, this will probably make very big news. I assume we will hear that they reached new all-time heights. I'm shocked that people are actually interested in this. Usually, like the entire idea of blockchain speed tests is like completely in the past as far as like the significance of it. I do not know how quick it currently is, or how fast, or how many transactions they can process. I assume the thing that would be the most significant is if they get to 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 transactions per second. I do not believe that at that point, do not believe at that point that companies would be rushing to them to be their blockchain of choice. But who knows what could end up happening, especially as the cryptocurrency space is quite special in that regard. So cool. The Open Network, formerly the Telegram Open Network, is going to do a speed test essentially on Halloween. So cool. Let's see what actually ends up happening. And yeah, let's move on. Also in news that people care about, during the Bitcoin Amsterdam conference, the president of Madeira, his name is Miguel Albuquerque. I feel like that, is that how you spell Albuquerque? Albuquerque, okay. Alongside Prince Philip of Serbia, in a fireside chat, announced the creation of a Bitcoin business hub in the region to foster innovation. He said, and I quote, "Last night you showed me the picture of what will be the new Bitcoin business hub. The association has been created to develop the development, of technology and Bitcoin and all the connections and partnerships you can have. It started with some guys in Madeira who work really hard, and it's open to everyone who wants to collaborate." This was said by the president. Prince Philip then went on to tell the president that he's very happy the region of Madeira is embracing Bitcoin, calling it a technology of the future and an open source protocol akin to the internet. Cool. There's more, but it's not really not interesting. So it appears that a lot of smaller countries are rapidly adopting cryptocurrencies, buying Bitcoin, mining it. We had, what was the other one? I don't remember. This was 2 weeks ago. There's another country who recently announced that they're putting in, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars to create a new Bitcoin mining hub and thing as well. So cool. It's nice to see the continuation of the growth of cryptocurrencies. I have so many questions about the future as far as it's interesting to see that smaller countries are adopting this a lot quicker than larger countries. I mean, it makes more sense that you would see Madeira doing it before the United States, as the United States is trying to protect the US dollar that they print and that they create. But then it also leads me to this, in the future, how rich will these smaller countries be? My nose is killing me. I'm so sorry. I literally can't help it during the video. How much richer these smaller countries will be comparative to the larger countries who's kind of just didn't pay attention to a lot of the movements and growth of Bitcoin within the cryptocurrency space. So cool. Again, another country has come out openly in support of cryptocurrencies. We can only assume that if they have a little business hub for Bitcoin, I just assume they're probably also mining Bitcoin themselves, as one would logically assume a country would be doing. Not the most exciting news. People did find it interesting because whenever a world leader anywhere comes out in support of cryptocurrencies or talks about how great Bitcoin is, it's clear that they own some themselves and are also probably waiting for that $1 million Bitcoin price. Yeah, that's another country has announced their support for Bitcoin. And I assume whenever this financial business hub Bitcoin area is created, there will be an article about it. And then subsequently, a year later, we will hear about if it's doing well or if it's completely flopped, because that's how the crypto news works. That's the adoption news. And yeah, let's move on. Okay, I see what people are getting at, but I also think something else. In a recent post on Twitter, Steven Nerioff, a former Ethereum advisor and prominent XRP supporter, apparently alleged that he found an old tweet from Vitalik talking positively about XRP. So this, of course, as you might have imagined, was incredibly popular news. You can't have speculation like this, that Vitalik Buterin, the creator of the second largest coin, said something about XRP in a positive way and that it wouldn't make big news. Neryov humorously suggested that Buterin might actually admire XRP secretly. Apparently in this old tweet, here's the other tweet from Neryov. It says, it turns out Vitalik Buterin secretly wants to be XRP, but he's so shy he deleted his tweet, which is in this article, stating that XRP is better sound money than Bitcoin. So I found the actual tweet that he was talking about, and it appears that someone was talking about that Bitcoin was a stable coin because Bitcoin's price wasn't moving. I don't know exactly when Bitcoin ever had a straight line across like that, but sure, that was the actual situation. And this is from the 23rd of February, 2019. And Vitalik Buterin said, I think you want to use XRP. The chart for XRP to XRP would look exactly the same, so it's also sound money. But they have institutional adoption and partnerships, so they're better. That was the tweet that is in question. To me, it sounds like, if you've never heard Vitalik Buterin speak or read any of his tweets before, he is dramatically sarcastic. I do not believe that Vitalik Buterin was talking positively about XRP. I assume he was saying, look at all the amazing things that they have. And if you put XRP next to XRP, of course, it's also going to be as stable as Bitcoin on this chart right here. Other people, however, read this as Vitalik Buterin said something nice about XRP. He apparently also deleted the tweet, which people screenshotted before he could delete it. And now people think that Vitalik Buterin is secretly an admirer of XRP, but he's too afraid to say so. This, as you might have imagined, was also very popular news on the premise or idea that the Ethereum maker could possibly also like XRP. I honestly don't know what to say, and I see why this was popular news, but it's also one of those situations where it's like, stop. Like, you guys are desperately trying to like find information. If Vitalik Buterin liked XRP, he would say so. If he likes XRP and isn't saying so, what would you get? Like, personally, what would you get if Vitalik Buterin stood on a stage and was like, oh, I like XRP? Would that make you buy more XRP? Do you want to believe in Vitalik Buterin more? Do you want to be his friend? Like, what would you get from hearing that he actually likes XRP? So he wrote it in a tweet. I mean, I can't hear the tone of his voice, but it does sound little sarcastic. So yeah, that's the Vitalik Buterin said something back in good old 2019 news. Yeah, okay, sure, all right. Let's move on. And also in the like actual good news, there are now a total of 157,400 wallets that now own over 10 Bitcoin each. Sentiment said since February 2022, why they put a comma there? Since February 2022, you can put it together. There has been a historic rise in shark and whale wallets holding at least 10 Bitcoin in the past 20 months. Since this accumulation of new wallets began, 11,806 more wallets have met this threshold, an 8% increase in total. So the amount of Bitcoin that's out there in the market continues to be accumulated. We know whales, definitely. We were talking about that before. I can never remember the number, but I believe it's between 80 to 85% of all the Bitcoin that's out there is now being held by long-term whale holders who have been accumulating for a number of years. And now we had news, this was months ago. I think the amount of new wallets that are holding Bitcoin in general continues to increase all the time. One of the metrics is like those who are holding 1 million Satoshis and over. That is to say 0.01 Bitcoin and above. They have which constitutes a significant amount of Bitcoin. I think a lot of times we hear, 45,000 Bitcoin and we go, wow, that's a lot. But then you hear 1 million Satoshis and you forget quite quickly that that's 3 times what any normal person would have if Bitcoin were evenly distributed. So 1 million Satoshis comparatively is a lot. A lot of people who have 1/10 of a Bitcoin has risen quite dramatically as well. And then also a full Bitcoin, that metric has also risen quite dramatically as well, as there will only ever be 21 million. We're currently at 19 million. 6 million are lost and gone forever. That leaves 13 million up for grabs. And 85% of those are being held by the richest people on the planet. So there's basically a mad dash happening right now for the last million or so Bitcoin that's actually out there on the market. And then you have 157,000 wallets who now have over 10 Bitcoin. I assume everyone's just kind of in hyper accumulation mode. And also, this is the kicker. Here's a really weird part. If Bitcoin does ever hit in 2032, 2036, if Bitcoin does ever hit $100 million per coin, if you have 10 Bitcoin, you have $1 billion. Isn't that weird to think of? That's insanely. I always think of those metrics and stuff like that. I mean, even if you have 1 Bitcoin, that's still $100 million equivalent. So very interesting future ahead. Yeah, so just some whale news and about accumulation because it continues to happen. I think people forget about it, especially when they see that prices aren't as high as they believe they should be. Nope, don't forget. People are always accumulating behind the scenes. That's the name of the game. You want to have as much as you can for yourself so that other people have less, so that when the price goes up, you make more money than them. That's how finance works. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.